Ms. Legalisa here. Thank you for joining the video. Look, I am so excited. This is why I have this huge smile on my face. I have to talk about Verizon for a second here. This is the first oh goodness, the first recorded video that I'm doing on YouTube since I have switched from Verizon back to cable. And I'm hoping that there's not going to be any lag, no glitching. We're going to talk about this update with this fake car crash, the whole thing that was set up, what's going on with the person that they found and charged, what he's being charged with, how much time he could get. I'm hoping that this thing doesn't glitch, though. That was the issue that I was running into when I had Verizon. And let me tell you, I was not happy. So unhappy, as a matter of fact, that I sent a complaint to the Federal Communications Commission. They received it, and I immediately got a call from Verizon's, I guess it's called executive escalations or something like that. Let me say this. They were very helpful. They were top notch with customer service. But you cannot get something that is just not there. We had signed up. My husband was paying for it. I have a business account, of course, because I have my business here at home. Of course, I have an office too, but I mostly operate from home. We had signed up for 200 megabits per second. We were not getting that. As a matter of fact, I was running the Verizon test all the time. I can probably tell you, if I could pull it up on my phone, some of what we were getting. Like, I couldn't even upload, and download was just unbelievable. It was just unbelievable. Let me see if I can find some of this. I have to go back. This is, because I take a lot of video and pictures, you guys. Here's what day was this? Okay, this was October 31st of 2024, October 31st of this year. My download speed was 9, not even 10 fingers, 9. What did I tell you I was paying for? 200. That's what we were paying for, 200. Part of me, wanted to say, you're putting messaging out there, ads out there that say, oh, yes, come sign up, get 200 megabits per second. But everybody can't get it. Everybody can't get it. They will look at your territory. They will look at where you are and tell you whether or not you can get it. And they told us, yes, you can get it. You're eligible for 5G. What they did not tell us was we were on the edge, the boundary of service area for that coverage. And so that's why our coverage sucked me inside. I won't say the entire time. It just went really downhill really fast. So 9 for a day. Imagine you're just trying to look at something. You're just trying to open web pages, go to internet sites. I would be on the phone. My husband said he heard me one time. I was on the phone with a client a couple of weeks ago going, I'm so sorry. My internet's really slow. It's taking just a few minutes. There was a time when I was on the phone with a client, I couldn't even pull up the page that I was trying to pull up. I literally told them, I can't get to it right now. Let's go ahead and move forward. I'll get the information and send it to you in an email. Like, I could not even do my work. We were paying for 200 and we were getting things like 9, running this stuff all the time. And just the numbers were never there. We're never there. Got up to maybe like 100 and something one time. But usually, nope, did not get it, did not get it. Did I feel that they were not being truly forthcoming with information? I did. I did feel that way. I felt like, they will say in the fine print that, it depends on your coverage area, but they don't really tell you that part of the way this works, because now we got cable, is when you see those numbers, especially for cable now, when they tell us that we're paying for 1,000, it's 1,000 to your router. It's not 1,000 to my personal device, because then it has to go from the router to my personal device. So you're talking about 2 different numbers. So think about that. If you're paying for one speed for it to come into your home, and then you've got it going out to multiple devices in your house, internet, TVs, cell phones, 3 laptops going on all at the same time at sometimes. it's all going to be pulling. And if I'm trying to do something, it's going to be really hard to do it. So, yes, am I excited? Is this a long conversation? Is this going to be another separate video? Probably so. Do I feel like Verizon could have been a little bit more upfront with us when they pulled up the service area to say, yes, you're in, but you're on the boundary. So we might not recommend this for you. You may run into issues. If so, come back. Let's see what we can do. None of that. I felt like, and I didn't have the conversation with them. My husband had it with them. I felt like it was just a customer call, wanted something. Hey, it's a sale. Maybe I get a commission. I don't know. That might not even be the case. But I got them in. We're good to go. We're going to move on. I will say this again, though. Customer service was top notch. The fact that they responded and kept responding. They would call me. They would email me. They sent an upgraded box. I now just have to send all of this stuff back to them. But yes, they did try. They did try. I think that is what matters. If they had not done anything, then that would have been different. Do I think that it helped that I sent a complaint to the Federal Communications Commission? Yes, I do. Do I think that it helped that I was a business customer and not a residential customer? Yes, I do. So yeah, those things matter. All of that is not what you came for. But just again, to talk about the advertising that goes on when you go to purchase a product or a service, you think they're giving you the information that you need in order to make an informed decision. Sometimes you don't have all of the information that you actually need. And this can be a problem. And I think that that's what happened in this case for us. Enough about me, though. Let's go to this car chase. Now, you guys remember, you've probably seen it on TikTok, on YouTube, all of these news reports about this faked car crash where this car tried to cut in front of a car. And when the car that was being cut in front of didn't run into the back of them, the fraudsters up front decided, hey, you know what? We will just back into them and cause an accident that way. Let me go to this so we can take a look at this. And again, this is my first recorded video on this. So we're going to be testing this out, this cable, to see if there's some glitching here. I'm going to be stopping and starting because, yeah, I tried it with that upgraded Verizon box. Did not work at all. So we're back on cable at 1,000 megabits per second. This thing ought to flow like a baby, right? Let's hit play and see how this goes.
Has been arrested in the alleged car insurance scam, all caught on video. Remember this? It took the city by storm.
Okay, it sounds like there's something else going on in the background here. I'm going to start this back over.
Well, a man has been arrested in the alleged car insurance scam, all caught on video. Remember this? It took the city by storm last month. And now News 12's Shakti Dennis brings us the latest on the investigation, as well as how the victim of the crash is reacting.
What happened, babe?
The viral dash cam video that shook up the internet. Passengers pretending to be injured after staging a crash. Now one of them is behind bars.
And let me stop there. Okay, let's go back to this guy. You saw the crash. That was the crash. And so what they didn't show was the part in front where the car came from over here, one of these lanes over here, scooted right in front of them. Okay, the driver back here hit the brakes and did not run into the car in front of them. So what you then saw was this car back up into them, and now they're arrested. But you gotta check out bro here when he says, you know, let me hit my head, let me hold my head so I look like I'm, you know, hurt or whatever. I mean, the acting that is going on with this. And this is why all of this is a problem. The setup, all of this.
Behind bars. Police arrested 28-year-old Michael Martinez on Thursday. He's being charged with staging a motor vehicle accident, reckless endangerment, and insurance fraud.
I'm just really happy right now. This is really, really good news.
Ashbia Natasha, the victim of the scam, took to TikTok to thank everyone who helped move the investigation forward.
Honestly, it's all thanks to you guys. Thank you so much for your support.
Within days, TikTok users tracked down the gray Honda Civic in Diker Heights.
Okay, let me stop there. So again, testing out cable. Is it working here? Can I start and stop? Will everything be okay? Now, to go back, remember, let me backtrack here for just a second. There is this part here where she's talking and she's thanking the TikTok viewers for really being on her side, standing with her, all of that. But let's remember how this would have been an entirely different story had she not had that dash cam. She would have been saying, they backed into me. They backed into me. And I think she had a passenger in her car with her. So that person would have been saying, yes, they backed into us. But they had 3 people in the other car. And imagine the 3 of them going, no, we did not. So then it becomes this their word against this fraudster's story against her story. And imagine you do not have the dash cam to support you. And now there's this insurance claim and your insurance goes up. It's just unreal. The fact that they have been charged, yes, this one guy, that's where they are right now. They've charged this one guy. Reckless endangerment, criminal mischief, insurance fraud. Somebody really could have been hurt with this. Like even the people who were in the car with him could have been hurt. The whole scooting across the highway, slamming on brakes, backing back into them. That could have really done some damage and really hurt people. But let's go ahead. They tracked. Let's go back and take a look at this. So somebody put fraud on the car. They were just not going to let this go.
Support.
Within days, TikTok used.
Look at that. So there's a fraud sign. They have tracked that. So here's the other thing too. The car, the license plate, you can see the damage. So people are following this and you realize how many views this actually got because it was just so unexpected to have this happen and to have the dash cam so that we could all see it. People are out looking for this. She's saying, here's where I am. Here's where I was when this happened. So people are on the lookout for this vehicle and they find it. And here's what they do. You see a sign up here that says fraud. The thing to be thinking about is how do I protect myself? You really have to pay attention to your surroundings now. You have to be anticipating what other drivers are going to be out there doing more than you used to. I know people say, well, I always pay attention to my surroundings. I'm always aware of what's going on. Yeah, but now you totally have to take it to another level because you have this kind of stuff going on. Let's go back to the video.
Users tracked down the gray Honda Civic in Diker Heights.
Someone left a message.
Then police took the car here to the 68th precinct, and you can clearly see the damage from the collision, which is damage Natasha's insurance would have had to pay for if it wasn't for her dash cam. Martinez faces up to 7 years behind bars, and tonight police are still looking for accomplices.
So yes, now there's another thing that I want to talk about here too, in addition to this sort of insurance fraud, this sort of idea that people are going to go out, commit these scams and not get caught. I tell people all the time that even though you don't see a camera around, it's very likely that there are numerous. When you walk out the door, you should have the expectation now that you're on camera, on somebody's camera, your neighbors that have the rings with the video, watching you come and go, whether you're driving in your car or walking down your street. When you get to some of these intersections, there are traffic cameras now. These things are live in some places where you can actually go and look at them on the internet and just watch them. Buildings now, especially government buildings, have cameras on the top of them. As you walk by, you will see them on the corners. And then private companies have increased the number of cameras that they're putting on their buildings outside. Now, some of you may say, well, isn't this an invasion of my privacy? No, it's not. There's no expectation of privacy when you're walking down the street. Everybody can see you. You're not invisible. You're not wearing some sort of invisibility cloak. There's no protection there. Anybody can look at you. And so it's the same thing with the camera there. There's no expectation of privacy when you're walking down your street. If you're in your house, that's different. So nobody can be peeping into your house, right? That's the difference. I don't know why people think that they're not being watched, that they're not being observed, that they're not cameras all around them. So for those of you who are scammers, be aware that's what's going on. And you're probably more likely going to get caught now with something like this than you would 10 or 15 years ago. And for people who don't have dash cams, hey, now might be the time for all of us to reconsider whether or not that's something we want to have in our car, not just for this sort of incident, but for other reasons too. Some that might be even worse when you think about it. All right, hope this brings you up to speed with what happened in this case, where things stand, and what to be on the lookout for to keep yourself safe. All right, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Mwah. Peace.